Hello, and welcome to the New Yorkers for Parks webinar series, an opportunity for the New Yorkers for Parks outreach staff to share tools, resources, and research to our constituents on your own time. My name is Laura Montross, and I serve as the Community Outreach Coordinator here at New Yorkers for Parks. Today's short webinar will review our brand new election campaign platform we are calling the Public Realm Bill of Rights for New York City. This webinar will last about 20 minutes. Let's get started. For those of you who are new to New Yorkers for Parks, we are the citywide independent organization championing quality parks and open spaces for all New Yorkers in all neighborhoods. Here at New Yorkers for Parks, we believe that great parks make a great city, and we have been spreading this message for over 100 years in all 5 boroughs. We listen and work with communities. We want to know what's working and what's not in your parks. We host meetings, we field emails and calls. We respond to all of you. We educate, offering webinars and issue helpful tools on how to better park stewards and park supporters. We analyze, collecting data and writing reports on the status and maintenance of our open spaces. And finally, we advocate. We are on the forefront of issues regarding parks, gardens, and open space, and we work every day to inform, lobby, and influence key decision makers into making the best decisions about our city's open space, whether it be about the budget, equity, or access. If you are like most New Yorkers, you're looking forward to the summer months to spend time in our parks. Just this weekend, you may have taken a walk, visited a playground, sat on a bench, or maybe even rode a bike. Parks and open spaces were packed. We all felt good getting outside after a long, cold winter. We are fortunate to have beautiful parks and open spaces in New York City, but there is always room for improvement, growth, vision, and better maintenance. At New Yorkers for Parks, we take these issues so seriously that we have drafted a Public Realm Bill of Rights for New York City. This document represents what we believe to be the baseline of investment, care, and access to open space in New York City, and we believe that the time to think big about the future of our city and its parks is now. As our urban population continues to grow, the need for equitably distributed and well-cared-for parks and gardens is becoming more urgent than ever. And this year, we will be calling on all candidates for local office to sign on to our Public Realm Bill of Rights for New York City. We also hope you will join us in asking our elected officials to make parks and green spaces a priority in our civic conversation. To begin, I'd like to read our preamble. We, the people of New York City, in order to form a more perfect metropolis, establish parks and open spaces as critical urban infrastructure, ensure parks as a key component of public health and tranquility, provide for the maintenance of these spaces, promote equitable access in all 5 boroughs, secure and make safe the public realm for ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Public Realm Bill of Rights. I want to walk us through the 5 articles of our Bill of Rights: access, infrastructure, health, environment, and funding. Through in-house data collection, community meetings, industry expert consultations, and research, we decided on these 5 guiding principles. As I mentioned earlier, we will bring this Public Realm Bill of Rights to candidates running for office this year, both on the mayoral and city council levels. We are calling on New Yorkers who care about public space to help us advocate. Article 1, access. All New Yorkers have a right to open space in their communities, and every New Yorker should live within a 5-minute walk to a park, garden, or green space. Every user should feel safe traveling to and within these spaces. While the current city standard for planning states that New Yorkers should live within a 10-minute walk of a park, New Yorkers for Parks believe that we should be within a 5-minute walk to a park, garden, or green space, period. As the city grows and our population increases, the density of our city becomes even greater, and the need for accessible open space becomes more critical. We believe the park experience begins the moment you start to walk there. All New Yorkers should feel safe on their way to their parks and within. Article 2, infrastructure. Parks and open spaces are essential parts of New York City infrastructure. The process of park improvements should be equitable and inclusive of communities surrounding parks. As residential density increases, community planning processes should ensure adequate provisions of parks and open spaces, improvements to these spaces, and maintenance of these spaces. As more and more neighborhoods in our city are slated for rezonings and development for affordable housing, we want to ensure that open space is being provided for or improved as the neighborhoods grow. Public parks, gardens, and plazas are critical urban infrastructure. The city and developers are obligated to provide sewers, schools, and transportation. Why should green space be any less important? New Yorkers for Parks believes that our aging infrastructure needs to be invested in, and parks are an essential investment. Article 3. Health. Access to nearby parks and open spaces benefit New Yorkers' public, social, psychological, and physical health. These spaces should provide programs and amenities that reflect the needs and character of the neighborhoods they serve. Parks and open spaces should also support civic action, assembly, and speech. We all know that parks make us healthier, more active, calm our minds, and most recently have been reinvented as gathering places for civic action, assembly, and free speech at levels we haven't seen since the 1960s. In addition to providing spaces for communities to connect, our parks provide for our mental health, as more studies are finding that access to greenery boosts our mood and sense of well-being, something we believe is critical in a city as dense as New York. Because parks provide benefits to our physical and mental well-being, as well as our social cohesion, we believe healthier parks make for healthier New Yorkers, and that these benefits should be equitably distributed citywide. Article 4. Environment. New York City parks and green spaces provide ecological benefits for city residents and urban wildlife. Green spaces should support multiple ecosystem services to make the city more resilient in the face of a changing climate and extreme weather. Park usership is up, and it's not just us two-legged creatures. Our green spaces need to support our urban wildlife too: birds, bugs, bees, and other critters. As we improve our open space and park system, we need to prioritize the natural wonders of our green space and all of the services they provide, while recognizing the important role these spaces play for our urban ecosystem in a rapidly changing climate. Our parks and green spaces clean our air, capture and filter our stormwater, provide space for native and beneficial plants and trees, among countless other ecosystem services. As such, New Yorkers for Parks recognizes that parks and open space deserve extra attention in the wake of climate change, rising temperatures, and extreme weather. Our natural systems will be the first line of defense against future superstorms, and as we learned from Hurricane Sandy, the need to create a more resilient city is more critical than ever. Article 5. Funding. Parks should be funded primarily by public dollars, and every park should be kept to a high standard of care. Our parks and gardens are essential city infrastructure and should be funded and maintained as such. We believe that city parks should be funded primarily through public dollars, but we are realists and know that public-private partnerships are a lifeline to many parks and should be encouraged. We can help the resource crunch because quality parks start with us, volunteers, making donations of your time or resources, joining a friends group, being an active voice in your community, and an active voice in the budget process are all ways we can augment funding for parks in the city. Funding for parks is a family affair, and we all have to be active members. So now what? Do you believe parks and open space should be a priority in this administration and for our local elected officials? We sure do. You can help us in a few ways, so let's get started. At the end of this webinar, please go to our website, www.ny4p.org, and fill out our policy recommendation survey. We want to hear from you about the best, most feasible ways we can accomplish our 5 guiding principles. 2, it's an election year, and even though New York City is a big place, it's remarkably easy to meet your local elected officials, especially in an election year when they want to hear from you and garner your support. Bring along the Public Realm Bill of Rights or other tools, research, and report from New Yorkers for Parks to support your case for better open spaces. We have report cards on parks, city council district profiles, and open space indices, all available for download on our website. And please, don't forget to vote. Find out who your candidates are, Get to your polling site and participate in civic society. If you want better parks, tell candidates with your vote. Thanks so much for listening to our webinar on the Public Realm Bill of Rights for New York City. If you have any questions or comments, please go to our website at www.ny4P.org or give us a call at 212-838-9410. My name is Laura Montross. Until next time.